All right, here we go, guys. Jets coming up. Big game. Not huge whether we go to playoffs or not, but there's no way you want to lose 5 in a row and then go play some critical game against the Jets for probably playoff contention. You want to get this win here, eliminate the Patriots totally, make them feel bad when they go home, feel good on a plane ride back, and get ready for a very big and very tough game against the Jets. Now, a lot of stuff's going into this. I'm going to cover the matchups today, where the keys are, some little interesting twists and turns, lots of injuries for both teams, which kind of makes it a little weird. Got some guys coming back for the Dolphins. We'll see how that plays out. Obviously, Tua is not going to play. He's out. Still waiting to hear from the late Friday report, practice reports on who's going to be injured. So I'm going to kind of just run with it, figuring out who's going to be in and who's not going to be in. So I'm going to go over the matchups and where I see it clearly we have to head. Interesting part is, will we head there or not? I don't know. So big game, very exciting. Going to cover that. But first I want to say thanks for stopping by. Another rough year for us, guys. Second year with you and me together, so I appreciate that. You guys make the channel go. Appreciate everything. And I appreciate all the views and suffering with you through these events. It's kind of cathartic, so I'm very grateful. But I also want to give a shout out to Ace Per Head, my sponsor, because without you, without them, this show ain't going down. Ace Per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. All right, before we get into it, I want to cover something I saw. I was, looking for like last-minute injury reports and whatever information I can gather before I do this thing. And I saw this on Bleach Report. Don't do the social media stuff, but they post this stuff on Bleach Report. I thought it was really funny and sad. So you see it right here. Fin Fanatic. So Miami misses the playoffs. Ross fires McDaniel. Hires Sean Payton, who he tampered with, gets rid of Tua over concussions, and signs Tom Brady. I mean this as a complete joke, but as I read it back, I realize it wouldn't surprise me a bit. And I say the same thing too, and that's the sad part. I keep forgetting this is the celebration of the 72 season. Last year was a celebration of Shula, and that was a debacle. And now we're on the verge of catastrophe or letdown. We'll see. And you got really a kind of bogus moment for the 72ers that maybe we could flip the script. Let's see. Let's hope. But here you see, again, we Fin fans are just so tired. I can't wait. I mean, I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but I can't wait till someday I don't have to hear this stuff. I don't have to think this stuff, and I don't have to agree with this stuff. Sadly, I do. This is why we need this victory today. This is why we need to go to the playoffs. At least, if we go to the playoffs and get bounced out, is some sort of semblance of respectability for the 72ers. I mean, obviously, it's not even in the ballpark, but at this point, we're on another solar system as far as honoring the 72ers. At least go into the playoffs, might put us on a rocket ship and get us, within several planets distance with hope for more. So this is why one of the reasons why I'm so, one guy in the comments from my last thing, he's like, I've been a fan for like 20 years. I only seen 2 blowouts in the postseason. I can't wait. So we just got to root for some of the fan base. We got to root for hope. We got to root to see the 72ers get something because Shula didn't get bupkis last year. So here's the matchups. It's going to be, you got Patriots offense versus the Dolphins defense. You can see the graphic right here. And the green boxes are strengths. Got the checks and minuses. I'll get into that. And then the red boxes is disaster city. Okay? So everyone wants to talk about Jones sucks. And he's not an elite quarterback. He is a system quarterback with who had a very good OC, a very good system that fit him perfectly, and he went from the Porsche to the Winnebago with his new OC, and he is struggling because the framework is struggling along with the offensive line. You can see here, Brown and Strange. I think Strange is going to develop, but he's struggling the last part of the season. He's a college guy. The season wears on. The body wears out. Brown's struggling. And then, the right side has just been a disaster. McDermott's not terrible, and he's a good run blocker. But clearly, this is not what you want for a system quarterback. Thankfully for the Patriots, I say that from their side, not that I'm thankful. But, Andrews and Onwenu are still amazing. Onwenu is epic talent. And that's where you see their strength. And for us Dolphin fans, it's a little bit of concern because Raekwon Davis is battling another knee injury, and he's going to be limited. He's not playing what he was in 2020. Jenkins is pretty good, but he's an old dude. So there is a little bit of them to make hay up inside, especially what you see here with Stevenson, I think this guy's going to become one amazing back probably by next year. He's really getting good. The guy's got so much talent. So, but I put the star there because that's two really talented guys. That's their option. I put the star next to Stevenson because he's awesome, but clearly those flanks are a disaster. Now, when they face against Miami, I told you about Davis. Sealer is really good. It's kind of flattened off a little bit. I don't know what the deal is, some nicks or whatever. Wilkins is playing like a stud, like a star, like a guy ready for a big contract. We hope it continues, and I believe it is. I believe this guy's legit. And then you got Phillips, who, he's playing tops. I mean, even his run defense is picking up a little bit. He's not great. He's never going to probably be great. He's a weak side guy who gets off the ball like super fast. The guy's a freak talent, and he's going to have a real good day against McDermott and Henry, who's really struggling as well. And Darrell, the tight end, what's his name? He's got a concussion, so we're not sure if he's going to be in. And then on the other side, obviously, Brown's a big guy, but he's a little slow-footed, and I think that Phillips can take advantage of it if he goes over there. If not, he's going to be going against Chubb. And I got the circle around him because he's got a bum hand, limited, missed practice, and a bunch of other aches and bang-ups. And honestly, against Brown, the way he is right now, I don't like the matchup because Brown is 370 pounds. With one hand, it's going to make a lot of operations tough. So that's going to be a key matchup. Maybe Chubb can deliver and really come through for us. It's going to be hard for him, but that's going to be a serious focus. Now, obviously, I got a X in check next to Baker there because in the run defense, he's good chaser, but if he got blockers in front of him, he gets wiped out. But he has kind of improved. I got to give him credit, but I need to see a little bit more. So that's why I got the X to check. He's covering much better. He's actually having a pretty good year, and it's a shame he's not getting that dosage of blitzes because if he had those blitzes and he was able to get that pressure, people might have a little different perception. Still, I don't think he's great, but he has really shown a lot this season. It's kind of getting washed away a little bit. And then Roberts, I got the big check. I could put the X there for the zone. But this is going to be a run-centric game. And Roberts is so good at shooting, hitting, tackling. He's going to play a major figure. So don't pay attention to the yellow thing over there. The guy's a special play when it plays like that. Real leader, unbelievable guy. Now, for us, obviously, we've got on the edges Howard and Kohu. I like Kohu in zone. Don't like him in man. Howard's just not the same. He's really, really banged up. Really just not having a good year. The groin's really messing him up. Now, Parker, we don't know if he's going to play. I got to wait to see the report. But that's a matchup advantage for them. And then Myers, he's better than any of our corners. He's going to be able to have, not a great day because he's a route guy and stuff. But they have the advantage there. Aguilar is struggling. Bourne had a good game last week, but so we really do have a poor secondary. I mean, over the top, you got Holland, who's really good, but they're not really going too deep. And I don't know how much a factor he's going to be aside from maybe blitzes, run stop, and maybe protect an occasional deep pass. But the Patriots rarely go deep. Sometimes they'll throw those seam routes occasionally, trying to hit the gap on a zone. I don't know. We'll see. But overall, it's going to be a little bit of edge for New England. But the big thing back towards us And what we've got to see is the pass rush on this offensive line. If we get that rush off, and you can see the advantage, even with the circle around Phillips, it doesn't matter about their edge on the receiving group against our corners. I mean, you got Crossing out there, he's no good. He's a special teams guy. Good news for us, if you look in the top corner, we got Van Ginkel, who's playing 27th best in the league, according to PFF. 300 snaps only, though. And then Ingram, he's playing really well. So we got a great rotation, and we've got to get pressure. Matt can't move. This offensive line's got issues. They're going to pound the ball, but in those opportunities to pass, we've got to get off on a pass rush. We get off on a pass rush, it's going to be a long day for this offense. And I do expect it to be a low-scoring game, most likely. So I'm going to move over now to our offense versus their defense. And this is the key matchup here. Tua out does limit it. His ability to throw off platform is much higher than Teddy's. He's got a much quicker release than Teddy's. Teddy has more experience. He's got more stripes in his sash of years of experience. And he is a little more mobile, especially to the edge. He's a little bit bigger. But this offense is not about accentuating those aspects. So there's going to be a little growth period and little struggles to operate on a major portion of what we're about. But if we can run the football, you'll take a look here. I think Eichenberg is going to start. They're going to put Eichenberg in. I really do believe it, and I think it's going to be a mistake. Hopefully I'm wrong, because he excels. Well, I hate to even use that word. He's better at zone stretch than inside zone. And he's a little more nimble than Jones, but he's light in the pants and he gets abused. Thing is, if you look at the red box up here, they got Gay, Godshower, and Barrymore. And those three guys aren't having a good season. Terrible season. You run inside on them with our strength of Williams and Hunt and even Shell, even though he's a little banged up with that shoulder, he's still able to run block. We could get it off, and I believe with Jones instead of Eichenberg. We run the football on the weakness of the team. Because if we run zone stretch, we're going to be going to their strengths. They've got some really good edge guys. Uche, Bentley, Jr., Wise Jr., Judon, and Tavai. All these guys are fast and on the edge. And on top of that, they got Peppers and Phillips and Duggar and McCourty. They're able to take care of the top, take care of the edges, and they're going to make it harder on us to throw the football. And yeah, we got Waddle, who's unbelievable, and we got Hill, who's unbelievable. But what they're going to do is have a very complicated coverage system. When we first played them, they limited us with a fresh team and with Tua. I don't understand why you think they're not going to do it again, because I hear a lot of people saying, no, we got this. They're going to put sometimes man on a guy. Sometimes they're going to jam and release. There's going to be a lot of complications. Now, to our side, we don't know about the injuries. You got both Joneses are banged up. Bryant's banged up. You got a bunch of these second. Mills is banged up. Their cornerback situation is really beat up. But again, they have those safeties. And if they play certain looks, and I'm sure some of these corners are going to play, they're going to make it difficult and slow it down so it becomes a mid-clock play. And if they can get that pass rush in, which is very potent, then it doesn't matter. They have ways. They do the sting blitzes. They're the first person to do it. They're going to put one guy in man, the rest guys in zone, mix match. They're going to do all kinds of stuff to get this to mid to late clock for that pass rush to get there. This is why the run game is so critical and why I think Eichenberg needs to sit. And you keep Jones. You run inside zone. Now, Ingold's got a bad thumb. Tehran, he's banged up. I don't know if he's going to be in there. So there's a lot of question marks about who's going to be in and who isn't. Ingold being out is a massive blow to us. And because we really don't have much in a way of utility blockers, tight ends, fullbacks. We're basically bare. And so if we have to pass and pass a lot, and then Tehran's a little bit slower because this is his fourth injury, it could make for a long day. And while I said this is not a must win, come on, we can't lose 5 in a row. It's just not good. So I like our possibilities. I like the play action of us hitting it inside in this weakish defensive front rather than trying to get to the edge, rather than try to pass our way to victory. I mean, who knows? I think this is a big, big tell for what McDaniel's about. This is the second time facing the Patriots. He's had 4 weeks now to see what he needs to do. He kind of made some adjustments, but now he needs to finish it off. And to me, the determination of whether Eichenberg plays or not, and then how he performs, because I think he should sit. But if they put him in and he plays really well, tip my hat. I want my coach to know more than me. But if they put him in and he flops and we lose, to me, it's a major, major strike against whoever's running the show. And if it's McDaniel running the show and he put him in, it's a major strike against him if it doesn't work out. And if he's not running the show and it's somebody else, it's a major strike against them and a big concern as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I think Miami's going to, I don't know. I really want to believe they put Jones in. We run eye zones, get Smythe in there, and run this football a little bit. Let Teddy be patient. Let this defense get its, like a cobra, like a python around the neck of this Patriots offense. They've been making loads of mistakes. Patriots have been beating themselves for weeks. We don't necessarily need to beat them as much as not beat ourselves and let them beat themselves. That's what they used to do to us. And with the issues of injuries, with Tua being out, being on the road, we've got to be the winning team here with our discipline, with our mind. Take this one home, relax, and then go for this big game. Beat the Jets, go to the playoffs, and maybe magic can happen. So, I want to say we're going to win. I really do. I do. I'm not going to say nothing. We'll see how it goes. This is my take. I'm a little nervous on this one, but next week I'm going to be terrified. Anyway, guys, have a happy new year. Root for the Dolphins. Be happy. Let's pray we at least get this big, big game coming up against the Jets and we perform well and get into this playoffs and honor a great 70s team. Maybe make a little up for last year with Shula. Anyway, Kerr saying thanks again for stopping by. You guys are the best. Catch you next time. Be well. Stick it to the Pats, Finn. Stick it to the Pats. Still hate the Pats. I do. And the Jets. Good 2 weeks for me. See you next time. Building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.